Thank you so much, G, for that sports update. We truly appreciate it. In the kitchen, right?
Of course.
Do you watch sports?
My sport is like in the kitchen. So that's where I...
This is our sports right now.
Yeah.
But before we get cooking, Woolies has teamed up with the Gift of the Givers with the aim of distributing 1 million meals to families who are in need. Now, each food care package is filled with a balance of protein, fresh fruit, vegetables, and other staples, as well as hygiene products to help curb the spread of COVID-19. We are so close to reaching that 1 million meal goal, but we need your help, Mzansi. As little as 10 Rand can provide one person with 3 meals for a day. Just scan the QR code on screen with SnapScan or your banking app and donate namhlanje. Also make sure that your chomies and your neighbors and colleagues do the same. Any donation can help make a big difference.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, Mondays might be the busiest day of the week, but with a little prep ahead of time, Clem proves that a delicious braai dinner is only 13 minutes away. Featuring free-range lamb chops from this week's Daily Difference list of savings. Now, these Smokey Braaied lamb chops with charred corn are a sure way to turn a Blue Monday into a delicious, mouth-watering one. Chef Clem, you know I love food, especially on a Monday morning.
Absolutely.
I could never say no to meat as breakfast.
I'm the same.
Right?
Like, I mean, I feel like cereal is all cool and all.
I feel like it's overrated.
But when you start your day on a high and you just have lamb chops for breakfast,
What?
The only way is up. So this is absolutely great and nice and easy one. So I've convinced my whole family it's okay to braai during the week.
Yes.
And it is. Because, I mean, it's kind of like you're creating that, like, gears right now. We start a fire early, I remember, like 4 o'clock, and about an hour time, the coals are ready, and everybody just gathers aside a couple of chops. Keep it simple. Do like a salad, some chops, and then like one other main. On the weekends, different story. Then you hit it with the coleslaw, potato salad.
Everything. Bean salad, green garden salad, the works.
Absolutely.
Even with corn.
And this works out really well because everything's from Daily Difference. And Daily Difference is
You didn't bring me I was about to be like, how can you do this to me?
Right.
Thank you very much.
It's reading time in the kitchen. The Daily Difference has really come through. I mean, these chops on Daily Difference, the millies on Daily Difference, the butter is on Daily Difference. And now the butter is a big thing. Because you check the price, 59.99 for the butter.
Oh my goodness.
It is literally what you need to be buying right now for the festive season. You can keep it. You can keep it. So you saw something. You saw something.
I'm seeing things. How about multiple things?
No, it's really, really amazing. They're coming through. And you see, the Braai Festival haven't stopped with Woolies. They still got all the braai marinades, all the meats. Check out what's on promo. It's everything you need to carry you straight into the festive season because they want to continue the gears. And I'm with that.
We have to, because we come from, you know, a long weekend celebrating our heritage. People are out there braaiing with their families and their friends, hopefully still maintaining social distancing and hygiene practice. But other than that, you know, you are showing us how to continue the gears at home, even if it's a 2-man party, to be honest.
Wow. Yes, that's all you need. Okay, cool. So what I've got is I've got their lamb rub, and the lamb rub is really great. Now, I know it says lamb rub, but I've used this on chicken, on the braai, and it's amazing. That rosemary comes through so well. I've also used this for crushed potatoes. You know, I took this, a little bit of butter, melted it in the pot, and I popped that over crushed potatoes.
Yum.
It was amazing.
And let it sit for a bit.
Oh, let it sit for a little bit and you're happy. Okay, cool. Talking about sitting for a little bit, I'm using leg of lamb chops today. Now, when you just rock up and you be like, yo, I want lamb chops, that's still good. But when you come through and you're like, no, I want a loin chop, I want a leg of lamb, my people.
That's your people. I want chops.
Okay, so if you like meat, you're gonna wanna go for a leg of lamb chop.
Okay.
Okay? You can see it's got that beautiful bone in the middle, and then it's got this beautiful thick cut. And that's meat.
It's just meaty.
It's meat. But the difference is you're gonna understand the leg of lamb. It works a little more, right? Because you never see like lambs and sheep just chilling.
Or
They're
like,
always busy.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a little tougher, but there's tricks and ways to make it nice and tender.
Softer.
And it loves the braai. Let me just turn this over real quick.
How long have you had that on the stove now?
It's been literally about 5 minutes aside. But like, it's perfect. I actually turned it cross. I was going to get those cross hatches on there. But you want to get a nice char in it. Lamb likes that nice charry flavor. So my tip to actually let in is to always marinate ahead of time. Marinate or season ahead of time. So what I do is I take my thick lamb chops, I put this rub on it. And the longer it sits on there, it kind of tenderizes the meat and kind of penetrates the meat with all these delicious rosemary flavors. It smells like a braai in here because of like all these beautiful spices and the lamb. Because lamb's fat gives off a lot of the actual scent and flavor of the lamb. So
And
cool,
we
that
love
goes.
that.
We want that.
We want all of that and more.
So okay, you take this, be generous with it. It's a thick cut of meat. And then you just make sure everybody in the party gets like a nice bit of that rub and you let it chill. I even do this the day before.
I was
And then
about to
you'll-
ask,
yeah.
when exactly do you marinate and put your spices in so that it's thick and it's all soaked in?
If it's a loin chop, which is a lot more tender, like a little bit before the braai is fine, like a few minutes, half an hour, you chill. With the leg of lamb, because it's a thicker cut of meat, tougher cut of meat, it loves sitting in that spice because then it breaks down, it takes up so much extra flavor. And you also see some of the moisture comes out of the lamb, which is good. You want that because when you do braai, you don't do oil. That's one thing about braai. You take out like the natural, you cook the meat as is, and with that extra bit of like moisture outside, you get the serious crust, which is a definite thing. It's a must.
I never actually thought about that. You don't braai with oil.
Yeah, that's why. That's why we love it so much. It is a healthier option. No extra oil. Okay, cool. So that's doing its thing. So someone said they love glazed chops. This is actually a social media question. They love glazed chops, but they always end up burning their chops.
Yes.
And it's 100%. I totally understand why. It's because you're adding your glaze too soon. So
When
the
should
glaze
we add it?
closer to the end, because there's a lot of sugars and other bits going on in here, right?
Yeah.
And the idea of the glaze is to reduce this glaze onto the meat, to become sweet and sticky and delicious. So once you have this beautiful char and 90% of the cooking is done, that's when you go on with the glaze.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm learning something today because I am one of those people who burns the meat by putting the glaze way ahead of time.
Okay.
I actually put it with the spice. As I spice my meat, that's when I put it.
Now
so
you
that
just learned. Now your Labola just went up by 50 G's. I mean, that's just literally what it's about.
Are you going to be part of the negotiations to let them about the preparations that went into me knowing things about the kitchen?
I'm out here trying to up Labola rates. That's all I'm doing.
That's
okay?
all I'm talking
Okay.
about, yeah.
So, we got some corn. All I did was I blanched it first, and then I put it on the braai, and that's going to get nice and charred.
Oh.
People say you can put it straight on, raw onto the braai. I find that it gets a lot sweeter when you blanch it in salted water first.
Okay.
Then you put it onto the grill, and you get a lot more sweetness coming through, popping in your mouth. So that's my tip then. If you want to add a little extra flavor, all I'm going to do is melt some butter, some garlic, some lemon zest and juice, and the braai seasoning.
Okay.
You make hot chips at home.
Yes.
Don't worry about the salt.
That's the answer.
On your hot chips with a little bit of vinegar. Everyone's happy.
Plug right
Want to
there.
take it home?
Of course.
I'm like, Father Christmas coming through early. I'm just handing things out. That's all I'm doing.
How about Oprah?
I'm feeling like Oprah. It's almost Christmas. Okay, cool. So super simple. Butter goes in the pot. That starts melting. Hit it with the garlic. Garlic and corn. People don't season their corn enough. Get like a nice amount of seasoning on there. I feel like I'm talking a lot this morning, but I got energy like, coming through on a Monday.
All have energy. I think it's the excitement for the chops.
It is. A little bit of that zest. Get a little bit of that juice in there.
Please.
Don't forget the braai seasoning. Once it's all melted together, start brushing that beautiful garlic butter over your corn. Happiness. And you serve it with a simple salad. That is enough for Monday.
And
that's the best Monday.
Thank you so much, Chef Clem, for always showing us around the kitchen and being the plug to the daily difference. Make sure to head out there and treat yourself and your family. Now, if you would like a recap of how we got to this, make sure to head on over to our website, expressoshow.com.